We firmly believe that curriculum is everything that a school is about. It's not just something that happens on a Wednesday afternoon in year 3. It is part and parcel of the life of our school. So we developed our Thrive curriculum and we built a curriculum design model based around the recommendations in Successful Futures. We shared that with staff and that drove all of the behaviours of our staff within our first year of opening in terms of their planning, the way that they developed themes, the way that they approached their pedagogy and the teaching on a day-to-day basis within the school as well. And for us, those 4 purposes are the why. They're the starting point of all the theme work that our staff do and the planning that our staff do.
I kind of think like the 4 purposes kind of like hold the school together because everything we do is like around the 4 purposes. They're like the backbone of this new curriculum.
So like on our enrichment days when we did one on Wales, we were linking Wales to our new curriculum with the one ethical informed citizens. So we were learning about that so we can, like when we get out of education, be an ethical informed citizen.
We have used all of the new draft curriculum documentation to plan with. So our staff are using the What Matters statements and the knowledge, skills and experiences for across all AOLEs, and we're actually fully trialling that now in nursery, in year 2, in year 3 and in year 6.
It's almost a culture change for me now, and it's a different mindset now that we are looking at the What Matters statements. So that's our starting point now, and we'll unpick that and think, right, what experience do we want our children to gain? What do we want them to get out of this experience? And drill down on that then and think about experiences that we can give rather than a lesson.
We've gone through an awful lot of debate and discussion with our staff around making sure we're not activity-led but we're learning-led. As a teacher myself, I automatically think activity a lot of the time, and it's about unpicking that and saying what are children actually learning.
We're not looking at, oh, that task would fit in or that activity would be good. I want to do this activity with the children. How are we going to fit it into the curriculum? It starts at the 4 purposes and it's brought down, we go through, we unpick it, and then it's all unfolds and it's natural and it's authentic and the children get a lot out of it,
Our pupils have a strong voice within our school. We are majorly pupil influenced, but we're not pupil led, and I think that's a key difference again in terms of the language used.
We have a voice of what we want to do, but there's also that very good balance of what the teacher decides, and so the teacher sort of enhances these ideas to develop new skills. And then this is what makes our lessons really interesting and fun.
We feel like we have a choice and we're involved with it. So then when we're doing a lesson that we said we wanted to do, it really makes us happy because it shows that the teachers listen to us.
One of the other things that we've all tried to bring in is that shared reflection with the children. So we're reflecting on our medium-term planning when we're looking at it in our journals, but we're also talking to the children about that, and they're having those opportunities to really reflect and talk about with their peers the learning process.
You've got learner capacities as well, resilience, resourcefulness, effort, self-awareness and collaboration.
Our learner capacities, they help us as well, wonder. We wonder, and self-aware, we need to be self-aware.
And that all kind of links to us in learning and how we do proceed when we learn.
My children very much use the language of the new curriculum. They very often say, their learner capacities, they like to quote them to me. And I think, oh my gosh, I didn't really expect that from you.
They're talking about areas of learning, the 4 purposes. We've recently used them in our learner reviews with parents, where children have been able to talk about the progression they're making to the 4 purposes.
And that language of learning really helps our children articulate how they feel in the learning process and where they are in a learning process. To help them with that, we have something called PLRs, which are pupil learning reviews. So every teacher from year 2 to year 6, once a half term, has a day that they can work alongside their children out of class. They can talk to their children about learning. They have learning focused targets related to the 4 purposes, and they keep a record in their own online journal as to how they're progressing towards those 4 purposes and the elements that they need to focus on.
We get to show what we've really liked doing and what was our favourite piece of work the term, and then we have barriers to learning, so we get to tell our teachers that what we think we're struggling with, and then we had to put a way forward to what we think could help that and how we could improve.
One of the key things for us from January of this year was we felt we needed to go back to the drawing board in terms of professional learning and development and really make sure all our staff had a clear understanding of the recommendations and successful futures.
So reading and research has had a huge impact. We really wanted to ensure that staff had time given to engage in such fundamental reading and research. We spent a lot of time building that in and linking that with our professional learning sessions, which on a weekly basis include all our staff, TAs and teachers.
In line with that, we've developed something called passion projects, where our staff are able to choose something that they really want to find out more about, they're interested in, or they've spotted as a need within their class, and they're completing some independent researches for the whole year.
I think we've got such a lovely culture of collaboration within the school that nothing is scary, that I feel like that we can tackle it all together, and we've got that kind of openness, and you know, we can say, what do you think about this, and I'm not sure about this, and that constant dialogue that we've got going on makes it a real safe place for us to learn, really.
Information certainly is shared between everybody, so it is a completely open door policy here. So it's, the same information is shared between pupils to parents, and it's that shared language.
I think we're very lucky that we have that insight into what's happening in our child's education.
Absolutely.
We're very much involved by the school in what's being done and what the changes are and what that means for us and what it means for our children. They're very inclusive.
You know, it's a really inclusive environment, and I think that's so important, not just for the children but for the parents as well.
It has genuinely created a real passion for learning, hasn't it really, and a real excitement for the children.
It's helped us a lot with our learning and kind of made us a bit more confident being learners.
I think there's much more dialogue that's occurring within the classroom and making those links for children, so getting them to understand, you know, why are they doing this, or how could they use this in the future. You know, there's loads of my children at the moment who are learning new skills and sewing, and I'm saying, well, you know, you can go to college and you can do this, and they're excited about it. They can see the why, and I feel like this new curriculum has sparked a buzz again, like an excitement. You know, there's lots of possibilities.
It really has been an exciting, unnerving and scary for some, and it's about that collaboration. We're all in it together, and working together in this way and going through the process is what's hopefully going to give our children the best experiences.